Green manufacturing is the process of producing goods and services in an environmentally friendly way. It involves reducing waste, energy consumption, emissions, and pollution while increasing efficiency, quality, and innovation. Green manufacturing can benefit the Philippines in many ways. First, green manufacturing can help the Philippines save money and resources. By using less materials and energy, green manufacturing can lower the production costs and increase the profit margins for businesses. It can also reduce the dependence on imported fossil fuels and raw materials, which are subject to price fluctuations and supply disruptions. Green manufacturing can also extend the life cycle of products and materials, which can reduce the need for disposal and recycling. Second, green manufacturing can help the Philippines improve its competitiveness and reputation in the global market. By adopting green practices and technologies, the Philippines can meet the growing demand for eco-friendly products and services from consumers and regulators. It can also enhance its brand image and attract more foreign investors and partners who value sustainability and social responsibility. Green manufacturing can also spur innovation and creativity, which can lead to new products and solutions that can differentiate the Philippines from its competitors. Third, green manufacturing can help the Philippines protect its environment and people. By minimizing waste, emissions, and pollution, green manufacturing can reduce the environmental impact of industrial activities and preserve the natural resources and biodiversity of the country. It can also improve the health and well-being of workers and communities who are exposed to hazardous substances and conditions. Green manufacturing can also contribute to the mitigation of climate change, which poses serious threats to the Philippines such as sea level rise, extreme weather events, and food insecurity. In conclusion, green manufacturing is a win-win strategy for the Philippines. It can boost its manufacturing sector by saving money and resources, improving competitiveness and reputation, and protecting environment and people. By adopting green manufacturing practices and technologies, the Philippines can become a leader in sustainable development and a model for other countries to follow. The Philippine manufacturing sector is facing both challenges and opportunities in terms of environmental sustainability and competitiveness. On one hand, the sector is one of the major sources of resource consumption, waste generation, and emissions in the country, which contribute to environmental degradation and social problems. On the other hand, the sector also has the potential to be a key driver of green and sustainable development by adopting sustainability innovations that can reduce its environmental and social impacts, while enhancing its efficiency, productivity, and profitability. Some of the challenges that the sector needs to overcome include the lack of awareness and knowledge among manufacturers about the benefits of sustainability innovations and how to implement them effectively, the lack of incentives and support from the government and other stakeholders to encourage and facilitate the adoption of sustainability innovations, the lack of access to finance, technology, and markets for sustainability innovations, especially for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, the lack of coordination and collaboration among different actors in the sector, such as industry associations, research institutions, civil society organizations, and consumers. Some of the opportunities that the sector can seize include the growing demand for green and sustainable products and services from both domestic and international markets, especially from environmentally conscious consumers and socially responsible investors. The increasing pressure from regulators and society to comply with environmental and social standards and norms, which can create a competitive advantage for sustainability innovators. The availability of various sustainability strategies, environmental and social innovations, and best practices that can be adapted and adopted by manufacturers to improve their performance and competitiveness. The potential for creating positive spillover effects for other sectors and stakeholders, such as enhancing energy security, creating green jobs, improving public health, and fostering social inclusion. To realize these opportunities, the sector needs to develop a clear vision and roadmap for greening its industry, based on a comprehensive assessment of its current situation, gaps, needs, and potentials. It also needs to engage in a multi-stakeholder dialogue and collaboration to identify and implement solutions that are tailored to its specific context and challenges. Moreover, it needs to monitor and evaluate its progress and impact on environmental sustainability and competitiveness, using relevant indicators and benchmarks. By doing so, the sector can contribute to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and creating a more prosperous, resilient, and inclusive society. Green manufacturing is not only good for the environment, but also for the economy and society. It can help reduce costs, increase efficiency, improve quality, enhance innovation, and create new markets and jobs. In this section, we will look at some best practices and examples of successful green manufacturing initiatives from other countries or regions that the Philippines can learn from or collaborate with. One of the best practices for green manufacturing is to implement an environmental management system, EMS, that helps reduce the impact of manufacturing processes on the environment while increasing operating efficiency. An EMS is a set of policies, procedures, and practices that guide a company to manage its environmental aspects and comply with environmental regulations. An EMS can help a company identify and monitor its environmental performance, set goals and targets, implement improvement plans, and communicate its results to stakeholders. According to a study by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, companies that adopted an EMS reported significant benefits such as reduced waste generation, energy consumption, water use, and greenhouse gas emissions. Another best practice for green manufacturing is to utilize alternative energy sources that are not derived from fossil fuels, such as solar, wind, hydro, biomass, or geothermal energy. Alternative energy sources can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions, dependence on imported oil, and energy costs. For example, IKEA, the world's largest furniture retailer, has installed solar panels on more than 90% of its stores and warehouses in the U.S., generating enough electricity to power 13,000 homes. In China, BYD, a leading manufacturer of electric vehicles and batteries, has built the world's largest solar panel factory that runs entirely on renewable energy. A third best practice for green manufacturing is to establish inventory control systems that optimize the use of materials and resources and minimize waste. Inventory control systems can help a company track the flow of materials and products throughout the supply chain, from raw materials to finished goods. Inventory control systems can help a company reduce overproduction, overstocking, spoilage, obsolescence, and transportation costs. For example, Toyota, the world's largest automaker, has implemented a just-in-time JIT inventory system that produces only what is needed when it is needed. JIT helps Toyota reduce inventory costs, improve quality, increase flexibility, and eliminate waste. A fourth best practice for green manufacturing is to recycle and reuse materials and products that would otherwise end up in landfills or incinerators. Recycling and reusing can help a company conserve natural resources, save energy, reduce emissions, and lower disposal costs. Recycling and reusing can also create new revenue streams by transforming waste into valuable products or inputs. For example, Nike, the world's largest sports apparel company, has launched a program called Nike Grind that collects worn-out shoes, and turns them into materials for athletic surfaces such as tracks, courts, fields, and playgrounds. Nike Grind has diverted more than 30 million pairs of shoes from landfills and created more than 1 billion square feet of athletic surfaces worldwide. A fifth best practice for green manufacturing is to collaborate with external stakeholders such as suppliers, customers, governments, NGOs, communities, and competitors to address environmental challenges and opportunities. Collaboration can help a company leverage expertise, resources, innovation, and influence to achieve greater environmental impact and value creation. Collaboration can also help a company build trust, reputation, and loyalty among its stakeholders. For example, Unilever, the world's largest consumer goods company, has partnered with more than 500 organizations to advance its sustainable living plan, which aims to have its environmental footprint improve the health and well-being of 1 billion people and enhance the livelihoods of millions of people by 2030. Unilever has collaborated with suppliers to source 100% of its agricultural raw materials sustainably, with customers to promote water conservation and recycling, with governments to advocate for climate action and human rights, with NGOs to support smallholder farmers and women entrepreneurs, and with competitors to develop industry standards and best practices. These are some of the best practices and examples of successful green manufacturing initiatives from other countries or regions that the Philippines can learn from or collaborate with. By adopting these practices, the Philippines can boost its manufacturing sector by cleaning up its act and creating a more sustainable future for itself and the world.